Welcome to episode number 8 in the Paul and Nichols podcast show. Today we're going to be discussing how much should you actually be spending per month to run an internet business. So let's dive in. So thanks for tuning in, wherever it is you're watching from, either from one of our video platforms or on our Spotify channel. Thanks for tuning in. Got some really great stuff that I'm going to share with you today, because this is something that I don't see many people talk about. In fact, when I first got started many years ago, this is something that I never used to see. People never used to tell you how much it actually costs them to run their business. People tell you how much money they make, how much traffic they get, and all of these great stats and all these great figures that they share in their business, but they don't actually give you the numbers and how much they actually spend to run their business. And this is very important, because back when I first started, as I said many years ago, I didn't know what people were spending to run their business to actually make the money that they made. And this is really important in the whole context of things, because you might be making tons and tons of money, but if you're spending as much money out to make that money back, then it's not as good as it sounds, is it? So I'm now going to share with you the tools that I currently use in my business and how much they cost me per month. There are also tools that I use which cost me yearly. I have to pay yearly for certain tools, but most of them I do pay per month. So let's dive in, and I'm going to show you exactly the tools that I use in my business. Now, you might be quite surprised at some of these tools that I use. In fact, you might be surprised at how cheap some of them are, and maybe some of them you think are quite expensive. So let's dive in and you'll see exactly how I run my business. So tool number 1 is web hosting. Web hosting is the backbone of everything you do on the internet, because this gives you web space, which means you're able to create websites, you're able to just exist on the internet, basically. You're able to just be on the web, and you're able to have a presence on the web, because you need some type of a website. And if you don't have a website and you just use video, places like YouTube and places like Facebook, then you don't necessarily need web hosting for that. But if you want to run any type of professional looking type of business, then you really do need some type of a website in your business. It's no good you just using free platforms, because at some stage you will realize that that isn't very stable to just rely on free platforms in your business. So tool number 1 is web hosting. I pay $30 a month at the moment for the site that I use. The company I use is very good. In fact, I will link to the places I use, the actual companies, in the description under this video. So if you are watching this on one of our video platforms, if you look in the description box, there will be a list of the tools that I use, and you'll see exactly what I use. And if you want to go over there and use the same tool as me, then of course you can do that. And without this, I wouldn't be able to run any of my websites. I wouldn't be able to make money. I wouldn't be able to make sales in my business, because you need web hosting. Very important. Tool number 2 is Autoresponder, and I pay $90 a month. Now, do you think that's a lot of money? Or do you think that it should be a lot more? Well, I pay $90 a month, and for that I get a set number of subscribers that I'm able to have, and also I'm able to send a certain amount of messages per month in my business as well. So I've been using this autoresponder company. As I said, I will link to this below if you're watching this on video in the description box. I will let you know exactly what it is. I've been using this company for many years. They've been really good to me. I'm quite happy using them. This is the main autoresponder that I use in my business, but I may open another one at some point. But at the moment, I'm just using one. It costs me $90 a month. So Autoresponder, tool number 2, $90 a month. Tool number 3. Now this is something that not many people use. I actually pay for a tool for music and images and videos and all these different templates. It costs me $25 a month. This is a tool that I use for YouTube videos. I sometimes include music into my videos, and when I do that, you need to make sure that you have commercial rights for that music. Otherwise, you will land in some trouble. I just pay a company $25 a month, which gives me commercial rights for the music that I use from their site. So it's nice and easy. There's lots of other things you can use. It's not just music. There's sound effects, images, templates, videos. There's lots of other things you can use, but that costs me $25 a month. And this is really important because when people use music in their videos, you need to make sure that you have usage rights of that music in your video. So that's very important. So always remember that. That's something that a lot of people, I think, overlook. And it isn't until you get monetized on YouTube that you realize you can't monetize your video because you don't own the rights to that song. And even if you're not monetized, you could still land in some trouble because of copyright. So to use an actual service like this, like I use for $25 a month, you get commercial rights with the music, so you're not going to have any issues moving forward with your videos. So that's tool number 3, $25 a month. Tool number 4, I use a thumbnail creator. This costs me $17 a month. And this is important because I use this whenever I create YouTube videos. I drag and drop images and I can put different things in there, different colors and text, and choose from different fonts and all of that. And I've just found this particular tool to be really, really useful. In fact, I used to use a different tool, but recently I've now changed. And this is the new tool that I now use. This is a little bit more expensive. The last one used to cost me about $10 a month. This one cost me $17 a month. But it's a very, very important part of my entire process. So whenever I create content, I put it out on the web. I always use this tool to create my thumbnails for my videos. And at the moment, it's working really, really well. But it doesn't just stop there, though. You can't just create thumbnails. That's not the only thing that you can use this for. You can use it to create lots of different other banners, images, your covers for your YouTube channel, your Facebook pages, Facebook profile picture, all different things. Plus loads of other things as well. So it's a really good tool. I use that in my business. $17 a month. The next tool, tool number 5, is video hosting. Again, this is something that I know some people don't use, even when they've got a full-blown business on the internet. Some people just choose to use places like YouTube to host their videos for free. And what they'll do is they just won't make their videos public. They will just keep them unlisted. And you're able to then use the bandwidth from YouTube on your YouTube channel. And you can do this. It's completely fine. You can make videos, put them on your YouTube channel, and then embed them videos to maybe a private members area somewhere. And no one will be able to see them apart from the people within your members area because they're not public on your YouTube channel. And you can do this for other video sites as well. There's lots of other places out there that you can do this. You can make the video unlisted and then just embed the video somewhere where you want to give someone the content of that video. And that's fine. You can do things that way. But I've found that, again, if you want to run a proper business, then you really want to be making sure that you have full control over all of your content and the training that you put out there to your clients and customers. So I pay $15 a month for video hosting, and I use a particular video hosting platform, which I will link to in the description. $15 a month, it's not a lot, and for that I get about 250 gig in bandwidth on my channel. And as you create more videos, then you may have to increase your monthly cost. But $15 a month is not a lot. It just depends how many people watch your videos. So for instance, the reason why I've got this, the main reason why I've got video hosting is because I've got a membership site. And in that membership site, I create the videos, put them on this video hosting, and then embed them into my members area. And this way, it's all protected, of course, being behind my membership site script, so people can't access it for free. But also, I rent this video hosting. So I've got my own video hosting. So this is not a free service. And this is just something that I recommend that you do if you've got a membership site or you've got any type of members area where you've got videos that you give to your clients and customers. I highly recommend that you do something similar. It doesn't have to be the same site that I use, the same service, but something very similar where you actually own your own video hosting. Moving forward, if you are interested in building a business, these are the tools that I'm using in my business at the moment. We've got some more tools that I'm going to give you, but if you're interested in learning more about how to build a real business on the internet, then I am currently giving away a 7-day bootcamp, which is completely free. All you have to do is go to coffeeshopincome.com/bootcamp. And if you're watching this on like YouTube or any of our other video platforms, the link will be below. If you're listening to this on our podcast platform, then just go to coffeeshopincome.com/bootcamp. And that is a completely free 7-day bootcamp where I walk you through how to start to build a real business and start making real money and generating real sales in your business in the next 30 days. This will walk you through and help you to figure everything out, how to start a real business. And not only that, but also how to create the framework that you're going to need to make sales and make money on the internet. Very, very important. So tool number 5, video hosting, $15 a month. Do you think that sounds like a lot of money? Well, I don't think it's a lot of money. I mean, $15 a month really isn't much at all. As I said, the more videos you upload and the more bandwidth you use, they will charge you more money, and you will have to then increase your plan, and it will cost you a little bit more money as you go. But 250 gig is a lot of bandwidth, is a lot of gig and a lot of videos to have in your account. And I think the next one after this goes up to like $25 a month, and you get like half a terabyte. I think it's like 500 gig. So very, very cheap. But video hosting, highly recommended and very, very important in your business. Tool number 6. So now we're on to the tools that I pay per year. So this is a page builder. Page builders are very, very important because they help you to create web pages really quick and without having to do all of the technical stuff. There's lots of different page builders out there. The one I use, I've been using for many, many years. In fact, I've used it to build my own membership site as well. I pay, I think it's $297 a year. It could be $299, $297. I've not checked, but it's around $297. So not a lot of money really. I mean, if you was to pay that monthly, that would be sort of $25 a month. But the only plan they have is to buy this yearly. They don't offer a monthly option. So $297 per year. And without a page builder, you can't easily create web pages on the fly. In fact, when I first started back in about 2008, there were not many page builders out there. A lot of the sites that people used to have, they often used to build them from scratch. And it's very, very technical. It can take a long time and very, very difficult. And if you're not a technical person like I wasn't, I really struggled for many, many years until I started using page builders back in about 2012. So I've been using them now for about 13 to 14 years. And they just save you a massive amount of time. It's so much easier. So all you do is buy the page builder and then upload it as a theme or sometimes a plugin to your WordPress site. You upload it, and then within a few seconds it's activated, and then you can go into your site and create pages. It's really, really simple. So the next tool is tool number 7, which is membership software. Of course, you're only going to pay this if you've got a membership site like I have, but I pay $3.99 per year. When you run a membership site, unfortunately, there are going to be some costs involved because you need the software to actually run your entire membership site, and that's just the way it is. There are different membership softwares out there. It just depends what you prefer to use. The one I use, I've been using for the last 18 months, and it works really, really well. There are other membership softwares out there which I actually think are a lot more expensive. So I pay $3.99 per year. There isn't a monthly option. It's just $3.99 per year. But depending what type of account you want will depend on how much you pay per year. You can get the cheapest option, which I think is about $200 a year. That's like for the basic package. The reason why I'm paying a little bit more is because I've connected my membership site to some other marketplaces, and in order to do that you have to have the upgraded account, and that's why I have to pay $3.99. But I make money from my membership site every month, and that definitely makes it worth it. I mean, $3.99 a year is just a no-brainer. Of course, these are all expenses in your business, but when you look at when you look at the bigger picture, then you do need membership software. If you're going to run a membership site, you need membership software. It's as simple as that. And it's no good you trying to do it for free from Facebook and all any of that, because that's just not professional. You really do need some software. So total monthly cost, $177 per month. That is all of the different tools that I use. So tool 1, web hosting, $30, autoresponder, $90 a month. Music and images, remember I get commercial rights with that, $25 a month. Thumbnail creator, $17 a month, and video hosting, $15 a month. And page builder and membership software, but we'll get to that in a second. But the total monthly cost is $177. Other yearly costs are $696 per year. So $696 per year. That brings us to a total of $2,820 a year. So $2,820 per year in costs. But when you think about what you're paying on a monthly basis, it is only $177 per month. Now, do you think that's cheap? Because I do. I mean, what else can you do paying $177 a month? Now, I'm in the UK, so that's going to be about £145 a month. £145 a month, and you're able to make hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions back per month. That's not per year, that's per month if you've got a big enough business. So the way I look at it is $177 per month is very, very cheap. And I hope that you're looking at this number and thinking to yourself that you think it's cheap as well, because it really is. I mean, you can't spend $177 anywhere else running a full-time, full-blown business. You just can't do that. So I will be honest, the yearly costs are $696, but again, not a lot of money, not in the scheme of things. Total yearly cost $2,820 per year. So now, I hope that this has now opened your eyes as to how much it will potentially cost you to run a full-blown business. Now, one thing I will just say is you may have other tools that you want to use in your business, and that's fine. There's other people out there that are spending a lot more than me. There might even be people out there that are spending slightly less than me. They might not have a page builder. They might not have a membership software that they use per year, and that's fine. But in my opinion, this is based on everything I've learned over the last 18 years of doing this stuff. You definitely need web hosting. You definitely need an autoresponder. You definitely need video hosting if you create products on the internet. Yeah. The thumbnail creator is optional. You can use free ones, and also the music and images, the software I use to create music or to actually upload music where I get commercial rights, that's optional as well. But it's still important, because if you're going to be creating videos, it's sometimes nice to have a little bit of background music, sometimes a little bit of music on the intro. So for $25 a month, I think that's a no-brainer, but that's up to you. But as I said, web hosting, autoresponder, very, very important. And also, I personally think a page builder is also extremely important, because this is going to be the framework on how you actually build your business. So you've got your web hosting, so you've actually got web space. You need an autoresponder, so you're able to build an email list of customers and subscribers. So you build your business, so you've got a stable online income. And then in order to actually build some type of presence on the internet, you need to build a website. And a page builder will allow you to drag and drop things and create websites really, really easily. So this is part of WordPress. So you will need a WordPress website, but then once you've got a WordPress website, you can then just buy the page builder, upload the page builder to your WordPress website, and then it will just transform the whole place, the whole thing. Yeah. So total yearly cost $2,820. The two big payments you're going to pay out per year will be the membership and the page builder, but they are optional. It's up to you if you want them. You don't have to. But $177 a month is what I pay in my business. I hope this has helped you, and I hope this has now helped you to understand exactly what you're going to be paying when you start to run a business. And maybe you already are. Maybe you're already paying some of this stuff out, and maybe the tools that I've just given you here is maybe just helped you to understand a little bit more. And maybe you've now just recognized that there's a couple of more tools that you may even invest in yourself. But I've always been one for trying to keep things nice and simple. I don't want 60 different tools in my business paying out monthly. I like to keep things nice and simple, straightforward. I've got my business, and of course you can expand and you can increase your monthly tools that you pay for. But I've always tried to keep things nice and simple, and that's the best way to start, at least, especially when you first start out, because if you've got monthly costs, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars before you're even making anything back, then you're going to find it very difficult to make any progress. If you do want some more help and you want to know exactly how to build a real business, then I am giving away a 7-day free bootcamp. That's coffeeshopincome.com/bootcamp. It's completely free. I give you an entire week's worth of training. So go through to the next page. You can either click the link, or if you're listening to us on one of our podcasts, then just go to coffeeshopincome.com/bootcamp, and you can enter your email, and then I will send you the special link where you can access our free training, and you can start to learn for free how to build a real business on the internet. I'm going to walk you through and give you a 7-day free bootcamp, give you lots of extra training. So that's the end of today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Take care.